Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of What's in the Box, where I have a big box. You can't see it. This is a slightly different angle than usual. Trying a little bit different on the camera angles to see if we can see the toys better. And, you know, it doesn't cut off my head because that's kind of uncomfortable. So, we are going to proceed with this edition. That's the story, well, it's about a box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Have some fun playing with your box.
Yes, I'm going to use that intro every single time. I love those movies, even the David Lynch one. But that's not why you're here. You are here. You want to see some toys. And I have a box full of some weird-ass toys. So let's get started. Let me reach in. And the first thing I find is a bag of toys. So this has now become what's in the bag. So I'm going to switch the other camera and let's take a look at what's in the bag. And yes, my head is still cut off. Let's see. Can we? Yes. There we are. So this appears to have mainly McDonald's toys. We have a Tarantulas. He's from the Beast Wars McDonald's line. We have an animated Starscream. Ooh. Who transforms, well, not well, but he transforms. I think it turned around and he's kind of a plane. We have an Armada Red Alert. And see if we can transform this thing. This is a weird ass toy. So I've seen better versions of Red Alert. I think these are going to go in the box. We have Megatron from Armada. No, from Animated. What am I saying? Armada. And this transformation isn't too bad. But it's not too good either. I mean, basically, he lays down and puts up his arms. Kind of weird. I think this guy is like a Shadow Panther from Beast Wars. Yes, there was Armada Red Alert in there. Definitely. This is that supposed to be Dinobot? Wow. A Rhinox-like character. Here. In McDonald's version. Yeah, these are going into a 50-cent bin. This is an Armada version of Cyclonus, I believe. Even has that. Then we have Thrust, Afterburn, Beast Machines Cheetor. We have not one, but two Megatron. Jeez. Of the Beast Wars variety. There he is in Dragon mode and in what's supposed to be a robot mode. Tankor. Some kind of Scorponok-ish. I think you basically flip his legs and he becomes a scorpion. It's actually not too bad. Jetstorm. Well, some of the McDonald's ones aren't too bad. The Jetstorm actually is pretty good. especially if you have him in hover mode. But his nose opens up so you can, like, kind of stand him up. Doesn't stand up the best, but... Feel the zen of transformation. I am Optimus Primal. Oh, this is a base for thrust. Black Arachnia. I am transformed. And she does actually transform into this spiderish type thing. I think this is in a Armada Smokescreen's crane. And we have Night Scream. So a bunch of McDonald's ones. But wait. There's more. I have a figure here. I don't know who this is. He looks kind of like a He-Man figure. But I am not sure. I know the main He-Man guys. Anyone have any idea who this is? Please let me know. I'll put him over here. And we have a Superman. Secret Powers, Superpowers collection. With Superman inside. His little ship. And here he is with his cape. And I think, yeah, his arms kind of move, so he's like punching. You squeeze the feet, and he basically makes running motions. Wow, there are some weird things in this box. You guys either hit the jackpot or you're going to be horrified. This has a little bit of rust inside the bag. That's not good. Must have been in my basement. He is a GoBot. I forget his name, but he transforms into a flatbed. I don't know, flat top or any thoughts? It does look a little like the piranha from the Mask cartoon. I totally agree. So yeah, he's a little rusty. He needs some cleaning. Another GoBot. I don't know his name. But he's he starts off as a jet. Not a bad looking jet. But a little smaller than an aerial bot. And then he does transform or convert or whatever the GoBots like to do. Now, when I was younger, I sometimes took GoBots and renamed them and made them part of my Transformers armies just to bulk things up. They were never major characters, but they definitely had a place. He's a little stiff. There we go. We got the one arm. And we got the other arm. I did not hit Jar Jar with a hammer. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to do it on screen. So, there we go. A GoBot. Any idea who he is? Let me know. And I don't know that I'm going to keep him for too long. Ah! I think I lost his leg. Well, we have most of a knockoff version of Ruination. Appears to have all the weapons. And where's that last leg? We're looking for Brawl. I don't know. We'll find him, and when we find him, if he's in here, we'll attach him. But these were actually pretty cool. They came in these very cheap box sets. And they're actually not bad quality for total knockoffs. I actually started to repaint one, and I have to find the pieces. I was going to repaint all the guys into Autobot colors and make it into a like Optimus Primal, basically an Autobot combiner. Brawl I repainted to make him Warpath. It's going to make Galaxy Shuttle out of the Blastoff, or for Shuttler. I was going to make Whirl out of Vortex, Hound out of Greejeeper, and Optimus out of Dole Railer. All right, we got a mini car of Spider-Man. It rolls, and he's got a web thing in the front. No idea if he's complete or not. No idea where he's from. Guy said some weird stuff. Yeah, Bruticus was one of the best combiners, I agree. That's why they used him so many times. There was G1 Bruticus, there was not Guard City. It was Guard City versus Battle Gaia. Battle Gaia. Then they made G2 Bruticus. Then they made Baldigus for car robots, and they bought him over and changed him slightly for Ruination. Then they made at least 2 different Ruinations, and I think there might have been some other ones, but great combiner. Another GoBot. He blasts off. I don't know if his name is Blast Off. I wouldn't be surprised. Or I don't think this one is Spacey. Spacey, I think, is the Flying Saucer. A lot of GoBots. I thought an extra Optimus Prime truck for the Action Master. So this does not have any Autobot symbols. It may be some kind of knockoff. But it changes into its jet. Not a bad piece. The man without fear himself, Daredevil. I wonder if his weapons are in here somewhere. So yes, this is definitely a box of weird toys. Okay, a couple GoBots. We got a fire engine that, let's see if we can get his head to pop out. I mean, definitely the transformations on the GoBots were pretty simple. Not in the best shape, but there he is. Don't ask me GoBot names. I don't know them. Except for a few, like this one. This is actually a complete Coptor. Because, of course, he's a GoBot and he's a helicopter, so they name him Coptor. He's got his rotor, which is rare. And transforms very simply. The GoBots, the GoBots. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Here is another helicopter without his rotor. He says he's a Navy helicopter. And the transformation or the conversion, relatively simple, I think, though it might be a little more complex than I thought. Because getting his arms out is turning out to be a pain. Maybe I have to pop them, yeah, pop them this way, pop them down. He's got a head that's supposed to flip up, but doesn't seem to want to. So he's a headless GoBot. All right. Another black arachnia. Wow. I bit off more than I could chew with this box, I tell you. This one's going to be a fun one. Do I know if there was ever a combiner made to match the Autobots in Masquerade? I don't know, did, in Combiner Wars, I mean, I don't know if they had a wind charger of the size of the combiners, but I think you could almost put it together. Though what's funny is Mirage was part of it, and he was using his holograms, and holograms is Hound's thing. Though it would actually make sense for Mirage to make holograms instead of Hound, and Hound to go invisible. It's a Scooter. That is named Scooter. But no, I am not aware of any such. It would have been cool if they made a Masquerade version. That would have been a good thing for like a BotCon to do. Is basically make a Masquerade version of the Autobots. Ah, he falls apart. Transforming into a fake Menasor. That would have been neat. All right. Now we're getting some weird stuff. This bag is filled with PVC figures. I'll go through at least a few of them. You may tell me to stop. That's enough, Kyle. We don't need to see any more of these PVCs that don't transform. But you guys should prepare to meet Omega Supreme. So this is his PVC. There's a Grimlock in here whose jaw just came off, but it does plug in. It's interesting what they decided to plug in and not plug in. Me, Grimlock, happy to be PVC. Let's see. We have Soundwave, if you want to use the Japanese name. And he's actually a pretty cool PVC. Though you have to like stick them together and hope they never come out. But he is posed to eject somebody while holding his gun. So Scooter is the Jar Jar of the GoBots. No. Okay. There's a Raiden. We have a Metal Hawk. We have a whole bunch of PVCs in here. Ultra Magnus, RC, Victory Leo. These are all the Japanese versions because they have the stand. The US ones didn't come. Here is a Chase version of Megatron reformatting. This is not a PVC. It is actually a Movie Jazz little figure. And then there were these little guys on stands. Here's another Soundwave, very similar pose to the other one. We have a Hot Rod or Rodimus. We have the Chase Clear Rodimus with the Matrix. We have a Jazz, this little guy on a little cap. I forget what line those were. A Metroplex. A Megatron with his flail. Power Master Optimus Prime. This goes on the back of this Megatron. Aha. The Chase Megatron, wherever he went. Was missing his back piece. And now he's missing his leg. These things fell apart so easy. But yeah, I remember being desperate to collect all of these, and now it's like they're sitting in a bag. But yeah, that takes me back. Nice nostalgia, definitely. Becoming Wealthy just picked up a sound wave like that. Was it a PVC, or was it a bust, or was it this little guy? Ah. So many of these things. And their accessories, and the bags are falling apart. I'm going to have to go through and reassemble them. RC comes with a little Daniel. At least that one did. Alright. Bye, Rodimus. Okay. This is kind of neat. This is one of the knockoffs of Defensor, but he's almost in Guard City colors. When I say almost, Guard City's version of Blades was blue, but it's very close to an actual Guard City. And this is a straight knockoff. It has rub signs. Do the rub signs do anything? It actually has Autobot symbols on it. But unless these are actual limbs. No, I don't think so. Feeling the quality. But that's a pretty neat. Yes, and interestingly enough, you're talking about Megatron. Everyone knows who that is. Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. I can't do the same thing. I'm not going through the clear PVCs. That was a Japanese thing. But I learned from Bob Budiansky years ago, the name Megatron almost wasn't his name. It was rejected by by Hasbro. Hasbro did not want to use the name Megatron because they thought it was too scary. And Bob said, well, he's the leader of the Decepticons. He's supposed to be scary. They're like, oh, we didn't think of that. So they decided to keep the name Megatron. But initially that name was rejected. And if Bob hadn't kind of said, you know, that's a good name, why don't you like it, we might not have Megatron today. And speaking of Megatron, this is an Armada Megatron. I think it's a McDonald's version or something. It's not even sure. It does transform. It may not even be McDonald's. I'm not even sure where I got it. But he does become the tank. And I'm wondering, flip that around. That's actually a kind of cool little thing. I'm not sure where it came from, but it's definitely supposed to be Armada Megatron. Bring me your mini-cons, yes. Ah, accessories. I don't know who these accessories are for. Got these weird looking missiles. We got this. I think this is part of an Armada Optimus. We got, I don't even know what the heck that is. I think it's part of a motorcycle. We got some weird tail fin. We've got a sword in gold chrome for a knockoff Optimus Primal. A gun kind of looks like Sideswipes, but it's not. It's actually for these fake Transformers. We have a little Tyrannosaurus. We have, right from the Transformers comic book. It's stuck at one point. If you remember when Optimus Prime in the comic books, his head was removed by Shockwave and just sitting there. Well, I made one. We have, I think this is probably for that knockoff Optimus Prime trailer gun. Another weird missile. That's a cool little gun. I think that's for a Kabaya model kit. And I believe this gun is for one of the alternators. It's supposed to go into his engine or something. But it doesn't seem to want to come apart. But anyway, miscellaneous accessories. Yeah, I got all kinds of weird shit in this box. How much for the Defensor knockoff? I don't know. I'm going to have to let you know. I have to... I don't think they're much if they're still putting them out. Someone mentioned mask earlier. Check this shit out. And you were saying it's got the dragonfly, I think it's a dragonfly thing, but it's got the aerial vehicle that comes out, and then you put it in here and it becomes a van. With a weird tail fin. Travis, what am I doing right now? I'm playing with a mask van. We're going to put that over there. And I'm going to have a drink of vodka. I mean water. Water. Goes down good. Now this is part of a Star Saber knockoff. It's got the head here. It's definitely a knockoff. I couldn't afford the real one. And he's got Decepticon symbols on him. So some of the Japanese exclusives were actually put together by some of the knockoff companies. Not as good of quality, obviously, but it was a way to have something. I have a bunch of Sky Gary knockoffs somewhere too. This guy is fucking freaky. Check this out. Giant robot. Now let's see if I can remember how to put him in his Stegosaurus mode. Because he does transform into a Stegosaurus. So the arms, I know, go back like this. The head, I think, has to flip down inside. Yes. I'm remembering. So you had to open up his chest in order to move that there, fold in the head, and swing back. And I mean, this isn't even, I couldn't call this a knockoff because he's kind of an original transformation. But for what he is, I think I might have to spin that around there. For what he is, watch him break now. He's actually pretty impressive. If I can get him to transform. See if we can push these together. Get that to push in. There we go. Nothing like a little strength. This swings back. I mean, for something that's so fake, it's actually a pretty cool looking toy. The colors are garish. But if I can get him into his proper form, I didn't forget to do laundry. I better not forget to do laundry. If any of you are near Knoxville, Tennessee, and happen to be going to Knoxville, Fanboy Knoxville, I will be there. Slide that down. That's not bad. I mean, garishly colored, yes. But compared to some of the Transformers and some of the Beast Wars, this is a pretty good Stegosaurus. Not very mobile. You can move his front legs a little bit, but not a bad thing. You're not wrong about the Dragonfly looking like a Barbie then. Okay. Welcome, my friends, to a transforming, but not actually not a GoBot, not a Transformer. This, what was the line called? Basically, there was a video game system that you could hook these things up to, if you remember what that was called. But this came out around the time of car robots and stuff like that. But what it actually is, it was a video game system in a robot, and you could attach other robots to it, and the video game would actually recognize what you had done, you know, who you had attached and stuff like that. Trying to remember how to transform this guy. I don't think I did it often. Aha. Could be that these go up here. I think that is correct. These go up here. This comes together. And it's definitely a pretty cool looking vehicle. And it's kind of almost like a Beast Wars character, because he's like a robot, half humanoid, half jaguarish robot. And let's see if I twist that there. Some of these have also not been transformed in so long, they're a little stiff. I'm not saying Snarl's not better than that, but for a knockoff, that's pretty impressive. I am impressed. Oh, he's got missiles. You might have figured that out. And they're shooting all over the place. But yeah, I'm going to have to look up and see what they called these guys. Because it was an interesting concept. It didn't last too long. But it was definitely an interesting concept of a video game system. And as you transformed the figures, it would recognize that you transformed them. I'm not sure why it's not staying in place. There we go. That's a cool looking car. I mean, for a, again, this is not a knockoff. This is a transforming vehicle. I think actually it was put out by maybe Takaro. Could have been Bandai. Ah, yes, that's how you get the head in. But pretty neat car. Kind of like that guy. How many times do I step on these things? Very rarely. I usually manage to keep them off the floor. All right, a bunch of small Transformers. These are movie style basics and some of those communication devices and stuff. Wow. We've got a decent amount of people in the sticking around. Thanks, guys. So this, I think this is supposed to be the movie version of Cliff Jumper. In small. This is a video game that is called Hacker X3. And he transforms into a robot. Is that supposed to come out? I'm not even sure. To be honest, a lot of the movie stuff, I collected it, but I really wasn't thrilled with it. But these guys are pretty neat. Yeah, this guy's definitely nicer than Turbo. Or Crasher. We have a little Megatron from the movies. A little Blackout. Ironhide. Of course, he doesn't sound like he should. Sounds like John friggin' Goodman. A white Ratchet basic. A little cell phone that you can reach out and kill someone with. Because he transforms into, guess what? A robot. I'm trying to figure out which way his feet flip out. You push it in that way, or you push it in this way. Anyways, he's one of the cell phone transformers. I'm not going to bother transforming him right now. Autobot cell phone. Digital camera. Remember when we had these? If you don't, then you're younger than I am. My favorite sound wave cassette. That is a very good question. I do like sound wave. I actually really liked, I mean, on the show, I liked Rumble and, of course, Ravage. Can't just pick one. a Brawl mini one. But I really liked when they came out with Slugfest and Overkill, and then I really liked Squawk Talk and Beast Box, who became Squawk Box. There we go. Barricade. Yeah, I forgot I had a ton of these things. Well, back into the bag you go. Okay. We have, for a Macross Robotech guy, we have the Afterburner Jets. More GoBots. We have this motorcycle GoBot that, believe it or not, transforms worse than Groove. And yes, I will say Groove is not the best transformer in the batch. Okay. We got his legs out, we got his arms out, and his head. Is it supposed to turn around or something? It's kind of in the back there, so I don't know. GoBots are irritating sometimes. Nobody calls Soundwave uncharismatic. Yeah, let's kick tailgate. Okay. Another GoBot becomes a dump truck, and it's shitty because it just broke. So that one goes into the dust heap of history. Did somebody mention Crasher? Well, we got a Crasher. Or no, a Turbo. You mentioned Turbo. And if you want to compare, he does have the rubber on his tires. He's actually not in bad shape for his age. And I didn't break him transforming him. But we have Turbo, yeah. I'm Turbo, and my voice echoes for no apparent reason. Okay. This is just a vehicle. Little army vehicle. I don't know what's doing in here. But okay, this is the Orca Beast Wars playset thing that becomes like a base. I am not going to figure it out, but it's a killer whale that becomes a micro playset for Beast Wars. Who'd have thunk it? Holy moly. Check this shit out. I don't think this is a actual Macross toy. I think it's some kind of knockoff. But let's see how far it transforms. Ravage, no, in the river? That's not good. Okay, so take his jet piece off. I don't know if this guy transforms all the way, but it's definitely a neat piece. And that popped off, but it popped right back on. So I don't think this is supposed to transform all the way, but that is a weird find. Does anyone know what this is. How do I convince my wife to keep all the toys? Well, first of all, not married at this time, but I have a fiance. But she has her own collection of Starscreams and a whole bunch of toys of her own. I mean, she does wish that I would organize these a little bit better. But coolest fiance ever. So if you don't know what this is a voice changer. It had a tube that goes in the back, and you're supposed to talk into the tube. And with the proper, I think, maybe it had batteries? Not even sure. I don't see where the batteries go in. Oh. It's got a little battery cover on the bottom. So you put in a 9-volt battery, and this made your voice sound like a transformer. Kind of. Wow. That takes me back. All right. Well, we still got 6 of you, so thanks for sticking around. I have a Transformers mouse pad. I have a mouse, so I should put it on there. Nope, not a Happy Meal Magnus, a voice changer Magnus. What the hell are these things? Looks like meth. These are minifigures from Beast Wars 2. That is actually Galvatron from Beast Wars 2. That is Bighorn. Lyle Convoy in his lion mode. I think this might be Tripedicus. I think this is Starscream from Starscream and BB. Here's Lyle Convoy again in bot mode. This looks like Megatron. It is not. This is Megastorm. They took the G2 Megatron and made him slightly different. Tasmanian Kid. Apache. And I think this piece goes on the back of this. This is Beast Wars Galvatron in Dragon mode. So wow, yeah, this came in a boxed set. I think the box got water damage from water getting into the basement, so I just took them out of this thing, of the box, and put them in a bag. Oh, this came flying out. This I don't think is a real Transformer. I don't even think it's a GoBot. But it's a construction vehicle of some kind. And it's got these... It's like a bulldozer, kind of. No idea. I collected way too much stuff. This is a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. Some missiles. A God Jinrai missile. We have... Which headmaster is this? This could be Brainstorm? I'm not even sure. Be nice if I showed you its whole face. I don't even know what that is. Missiles, somebody's leg, a booster. Yeah. Weird the little things that you find. I think that's a God Jinrai missile. And I definitely need to figure out who this headmaster is. If anyone knows, let me know. What are we doing on time? We're almost out of time. Oh, look, it's another... It's a Power Dasher. Or Sky Dasher, as they call them. It's losing a bit of chrome. But it still kind of rolls. Found the Bruticus foot. I haven't found the Brawl yet. He's got to be in here. Hey, look what I found. Another. But this one has a tube that you're supposed to talk into. So, I'm not putting batteries in it. Not till I clean that thing. This, I think, is from Animorphs. The guy who turns into a bird. Now, this is actually, it's a cheap, I don't call it a knockoff. It's a fake Transformer. But it's actually not a bad looking one. They made these in several colors. And if you were looking for extra Autobots, these definitely looked better and transformed better than GoBots. So it's a kind of a neat fake Transformer piece. Okay, two things here. We have the Beast Wars Arachnid playset. A big spider that became a base and actually comes with little Predacons. So if you've ever wondered what those little things look like, now you know. What happens when a cat meows in a voice changer Ultra Magnus? I imagine it sounds like Skylinks. Now this here is a Blitzwing knockoff. He's actually, I could tell he's a knockoff because he's all plastic. He's kind of in his Diaclone colors. His fist pops out, but you can pop it back in. Let's see if we can get him into his robot mode. But he's not a bad copy, knockoff, of Blitzwing. There he is. And he has the weapons. The sword is very similar to the G1. The gun is not. And some of the stickers just fell off, but have I ever seen a Fortress Maximus toy? I had the original Fort Max and the original Brave Max. I now have a Brave Max and I have the new Fortress Maximus. He's over there. I've also seen the little fake Fortress Maximuses. But this is a cool knockoff. I may have to put him aside and add him to my next knockoff video. I haven't done one of those in too long. We're almost done, I swear. I don't know what the hell this is. It's a robot. And it transforms into some kind of mechanical bird. I'm not sure of the line. But there's the but. Yeah, I am not sure how he transforms either. I'd have to play with him a bit. Gonna have to see if I can find out. Any idea? An original Fort Max, they're pretty expensive, especially 100% complete. They are... You're probably looking at least, for a loose one, at least $750. In the box, you're looking for at a couple grand, at least. It's been a while since I've bought one. We have a Rock Lord, man. Yes, it is a Rock Lord. And I actually put Decepticon symbols on him. So, this looks like graffiti on a rock, though. So it's not too bad for his disguise. But yes, a Rock Lord. If you're not familiar with Rock Lords, they became, believe it or not, rocks. It's a rock, but it becomes a creature of some kind. Back to the GoBots, but this one is a blue version. It could be Machine Robo, which, if you're not aware, was the line from Bandai before Tonka decided to turn them into GoBots. Kind of like the equivalent of the Diaclone or Microman lines. But it's a blue and in pretty good shape version of the Leader 1 mold. And it feels quality as GoBots feel. Doesn't feel like a knockoff. I would put him back in the bag. Yes. Rock Lords are ridiculous and awesome at the same time. I have a couple boxes here. I have a phaser and a tricorder from Next Gen. I saved the boxes. I can't believe I can't find that Brawl in here. Alright. Speaking of Leader 1, we have an actual Leader 1 in the GoBot colors. And again, not in bad shape. I don't know why I had GoBots, but I did. Transforming kitchen appliances. I have transforming cell phones. Alright. Some of the stuff I have here might be Machine Robo. I will one day find the Brawl. Well, it is getting past time, but this, I think, is a little McDonald's train bot. And I think I put an Autobot symbol on him years ago. Little green train bot. Bullet train. Now this, I think, is a Crasher mold, but it's not Crasher. So I think it could be a machine robo. Yeah, I had no idea I had all these GoBots left over. Gonna have to find a GoBot collector. Rock schmucks. That's kind of mean. I never removed from bag Batman Beyond toy of Batman Beyond. I'm not going to take it out. I'm going to be vending next month at a toy show. So it might be worth keeping some of this stuff still in the package. Like a Beast Machines Cheetor, never removed from the McDonald's package. So, here we have more accessories. And we're getting to the end of this box, so there's a cop door, or not a cop door, a cycle with a Grimlock leg in there. Cop door missing his front wheel and back wheel. Cycle. I am a cycle. And the brain intelligence transfer thing. Sorry, Steve. Do you want? Alright, let's see what accessories we have in here. We have a miscellaneous sword, probably from some fake Transformer. We have a knockoff broadside axe. We have some interesting missiles. An arm still attached to the gun. This, I believe, is for a knockoff Fortress Maximus, a mini one. We have a missile. I believe this is either the Predator Stalker, the European one, or it could be, depending on the shade, it could be the Machine Wars Starscream. Weird leg, shield, nose cones. Yeah, I don't know what most of this stuff is supposed to be, but this appears to be, yeah, some kinds of guns. Bunch of crap. Ooh, but we have a hoist / grapple gun. We have these guys. These are like the Transformer GoBots or the Spy Changers. They're not necessarily knockoffs because they didn't make these exact molds, but they're kind of the concept knockoffs. So you have a little GoBot, Transformers GoBot truck, and a fire department truck that transforms the same way. But they are fragile. This one just disintegrated, so that's a problem when you have this stuff. All right. Any final things? Okay. Two last things, and then we're going to wrap up the stream. We have this GoBot race car. Who I believe... Yeah, it's not a... I've seen worse transformations. So, Steve the GoBot collector. Who is this guy? Do you know? I wish I did. He looks like a wannabe A wannabe Mirage. So, if you guys are ready for a little story, I'm going to tell you a story. So, way back in the day, I was talking to this guy who made a lot of repro parts. And I wanted to try to make my own Machine Wars style seeker jets. And, you know, I paid him to do it. And all that. And he also asked to borrow my Master Sword from my Master Sword blade from my Toys R Us exclusive God Magnus Fire Convoy translucent set. So I lent it to him because he wanted to make a repro of it. And I just dropped a piece down there, of course. Bastard never returned it. I don't know if he ruined it trying to make a mold or whatever, but he wouldn't talk to me. He did send me this Machine Wars style blue translucent jet that he molded. It doesn't have the spring action, but hopefully it won't break. But it does become a Machine Wars style guy. So he managed to make this, but he never returned my blade. So I have a set of the clear God Magnus slicks. Yeah, that actually sounds familiar. And yes, you do what I do when I don't know what things are. I look them up online. So yeah, so that prick down in Texas took my blade, probably ruined it, never returned it, and devalued my set. So, thank you for joining me for another What's in the Box episode. There's all kinds of weird weapons here. Possible I can use them for some that are missing weapons. But yeah, I got a lot of weird stuff, and it's going to only get weirder. Because I took a peek at a couple of the things that I'm going to be breaking out for next week. Transforming sounds. And this guy, I'm lucky he transforms. And this guy is not a transformer. But, what was the line? I'm going to cheat like Steve did. See if it has something. Of course not. Now I'll do some research. Maybe I'll do a little thing on that line if I find more of them. But yeah, this is a cool looking car. And he's kind of like, almost like Cheetor. But yeah. So now I gotta clean this stuff up, and I still haven't found Brawl. So that's he's probably in another box. But he can stand on one foot, kind of, if I hold it. Alright guys, it has been fun. Yeah, the next one we're going to have some wild stuff. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. We will see you next time. And as always, have fun and good hunting. And here's some outro music.